Arsenal finally stopped their little bit of a rot, we could say, after, 2 losses and a draw in all competitions. They finally got a win, and a big win today, a convincing win, I would say, over Nottingham Forest. Let me start with you for this one. Arsenal seemed like they were in cruise control now, and this is exactly what Mikel Arteta would have wanted to see from them after the international break. Would you say it was the perfect response, perfect game for them?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think that clearly you saw that Mikel Arteta used the international break wisely. Once again, we need to wax lyrical on Bukayo Saka. This player is unbelievable. It's not a shocking statement. Everybody knows this, but just the work rate, the ability to break defenders, individual, and then when you create that partnership with Martin Ødegaard, the architect, then it's all over. But as you mentioned, it was an almost perfect performance. Nothing is perfect to me. Everything has to go towards that goal, and they did that against Nottingham Forest, by the way. That's now beginning to show, as good as they have started under Nuno Espirito Santo. Like, they show that loss, obviously, against Newcastle, and now after the break against Arsenal, they're showing some cracks, but take nothing away from Arsenal today. They needed a response. They needed a big victory. Players are coming back. And the key partnership between the midfield, specifically Odegaard and Bukayo Saka, is working out, and it was a good win. That's all really that Mikel Arteta needs, a good win for the Gunners to keep up in this title chase.
Janusz, your thoughts on how Arsenal went about this? And as LME said, we can wax lyrical left, right, and center about Bukayo Saka, but also, did this game also just further underline how much Arsenal missed and needed their architect in Martin Ødegaard?
Of course. I mean, we forgot a little bit in that time when he was gone, although initially they were doing well. I mean, how important of a player is. I mean, he's the best playmaker in this league. And some will, as I mentioned already, some will probably talk about Cole Palmer. And here's the difference. I mean, if LME, you say that he was targeted, right? Obviously, Odegaard's targeted every game, but he seems to be a lot more consistent, always on the ball, always involved on every play. We forget that Arsenal are a formidable team if they're healthy and if they're in a flow like they are right now. And for obvious reasons, everybody goes through it. But, when you lose a player like Odegaard, Bukayo Saka suffers. Today, I mean, it was unbelievable to watch both of them, right? Because they have this connection that is quite incredible. They're always looking for each other. I mean, it was happy football, happy Arsenal, happy football. I don't know if you remember that action that nothing came in, but it was that combination where Gabriel Jesus in the first half drove.
Yeah,
there was a back heel there. Timber was involved, and it wasn't a goal, but it was that type of football that's only possible when Odegaard's on the pitch, because he knows when to get involved. He knows when to stay away from the game. He knows when to create space for himself or for others as well. And today, all of that was on display. Yes, I know Declan Rice wasn't there as well. Obviously, White's not there. But sort of when he's there, everything seems to be okay. And the reason I say they're formidable is because they're going to be back. They get that flow. And today, I enjoy watching that. That was a happy football. It's just that when some of those key pieces aren't there, you lose the points that they've lost. Obviously, that's where the question mark is. And it always has been, right, with Arsenal. Are they deep enough when certain players are missing? Today is back to normal.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, Alexis, like if you want to be a champion, you need to have a squad, not just the first 11. And today, when Raheem Sterling already assisted a goal, Ethan Nwaneri in his final goal, in that third goal, Thomas Partey coming in at halftime, all of them contributed to the goals. So as long as you have a squad that can complement everything that's happening at the beginning of the game, then you're golden. And that's what's happening today against Nottingham Forest with Arsenal. Let's see if it continues, because they're about to face a very tough, not just them, everybody's about to face a very tough marathon. 8 matches in December alone. It's going to be a lot.
But you can adjust, right? I mean, I've mentioned, Enzo Fernandez or Lavia, right? Here you were talking about Jorginho, who, by the way, played pretty well in the first half. It's not that he was bad. I don't know if it was an injury. I don't think so, but it was tactical and made sense. Not because Thomas Partey came in and scored a goal. That's an easy one to go to. But I think, again, it's a sort of game that you're dominating the Forest team, right? and you have Jorginho, who keeps rhythm, right, and organizes the team, but he's not going to give you much more in terms of going forward and finding that final pass and all that, where Partey can score the goal, and obviously he's more driven to go forward and all that. So if it was a tactical decision, at first when I saw that, I was like, wow, why? I mean, here's Arsenal dominating. Jorginho doesn't get many games. He's playing, for me, relatively well. But look at that, right? He comes in, scores a beautiful goal after that cutback there, and so again, a good manager with a good team, and this is where we are. You have 3 or 4 or 5 teams that are going to compete for all of that, and it's just not easy, even with a display like this. As you said, LME, there's going to be some unbelievable tests, but as long as Odegaard's there, it's a different team. And I mean, just look at Bukayo Saka, how happy he was in a game today.
Very happy indeed, and we absolutely love his smile. Definitely one of the best smiles out there. LME, quick last one on Arsenal now too, because I think back to the Chelsea-Arsenal draw that we did and we spoke about right before this international break, and we said that now in that international break, Mikel Arteta is going to have a couple of questions he's going to have to ask himself before play resumes in the Premier League. Did we get some answers? Do you think he got some answers, or did today's result and the momentum we're feeling have a lot more to do with the opposition they were playing, even though you can only beat who's put in front of you? But as we're saying, in terms of the bigger picture and long-term run to getting back into the title race chat, did Mikel Arteta have his questions answered today?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't want to take things away from, like, the opposition. Nottingham Forest are a good team. I mean, look at where they are on the table, and they rely a lot on resiliency. And again, after an international break, it's very difficult to assess a team directly after. But I think that what you saw today, as Janusz was saying, like, there are options, you know, and when you have Martin Ødegaard after an international break, feeling good, Bukayo Saka feeling good, the squad rejuvenating themselves, that's what you see. I mean, Janusz was mentioning that segment of play, sequence of play inside the box, and it was beautiful. And that's the kind of thing that you're probably going to see more now that Odegaard is healthier and stuff. So I think, yeah, a lot of boxes were ticked for Mikel Arteta today. But again, they're about to enter, like everybody else, a really tough schedule. So they just have to continue and stay healthy. But Mikel Arteta will be going home feeling very happy about what he saw today.
And just quickly, you're quite right, LME, because, you know, those little details that we sometimes forget and said, it doesn't matter, because, like, they do matter, right? Because you look at, you know, Odegaard goes off with Saka, Nwaneri and Sterling come in on that right-hand side that was so dominant, right? And guess what? They combine and they score a goal. Okay, 2-0, 3-0, but it matters because we talk about the squad. So now Arteta can go back and say, you know what? Havertz wasn't starting today. Martinelli wasn't starting. So yes, you know, managers have a way of speaking with players that, even though you all know that, and you can kind of dismiss it and say blah, 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 blah. But when there's a time that you can go in front of your team and say, you all matter. Everybody keeps saying that we don't have the squad. Well, look at this. These are the examples of the squad that got it done. And like you're saying, there's going to be some surprises because international week is funny because you lose that rhythm. But today he was able to rest some players, or maybe the ones that weren't available, and others came in and got it done. Don't forget, Nottingham Forest was like in 3rd place not that long ago. They were brought down to earth, and we all know that, you know, they've lost 2 in a row, but you still have to win a game.